Hello, everyone. Our group, Olivia Sadler, Tabitha Woodall, and Tara Mobley, will be presenting on maintaining and promoting cognitive function in older adults, research and practice perspectives. This topic is especially relevant in nursing because we often care for patients who are facing age related changes in thinking and memory. Understanding how to maintain cognitive health allows us to support independence, dignity, and overall quality of life. Throughout this presentation, we'll connect research and practice, exploring the causes of decline, historical perspectives, risk and protective factors, and the role nurses play in prevention and intervention. Let's begin with a quick overview of what cognitive decline is and why it matters, starting with the abstract. Cognitive decline significantly impacts an older adult's ability to think, remember, and make decisions. The National Institute on Aging defines cognitive health as the ability to think, learn, and remember effectively. When decline occurs, it affects more than just the individual. It also places emotional and physical strain on caregivers and families and increases healthcare needs. Early intervention and prevention are key. Promoting brain health through physical activity, social engagement, and cognitive stimulation can slow progression and help older adults live fuller, more independent lives. Now that we've covered the foundation, let's look more closely at the problem, how cognitive decline actually presents in aging. Millions of older adults experience age-related cognitive decline, and Alzheimer's disease alone affects more than 6.7 million people over the age of 65 in the United States. This decline often shows up as difficulty managing daily tasks like finances, taking medication, or maintaining self-care. Even mild decline can reduce independence and confidence, leading to frustration or social withdrawal. Beyond the personal impact, this decline also increases caregiver stress and healthcare cost, which is why it's such a major concern. Let's continue by exploring more about how and why these changes occur as people age. As people age, it's natural for certain cognitive functions, like processing speed and decision making, to slow down. That's part of normal aging. However, with the decline becoming notable and begins to interfere with daily life, we may see mild cognitive impairment, which can progress to dementia. Conditions like Alzheimer's disease cause more severe and irreversible impairments. The biggest risk factors are age and genetics, but as we'll see, lifestyle and environment also play major roles. To understand how our perspective on cognitive health has evolved, let's look back at the history of how the issue has approached over time. In the early 20th century, cognitive decline was viewed as a normal and unavoidable part of aging. There wasn't much focus on intervention. In the 1960s, Dr. Robert Butler introduced therapy which Life Story recalled to improve well-being. By the 1980s and the 1990s, research started to emphasize lifestyle, things like exercise, diet, and mental stimulation. In the 2000s, mild cognitive impairment was identified as an early stage of dementia, leading to more emphasis on early detection. And today, we take a person-centered approach combining medical, emotional, and community-based interventions to promote lifelong brain health. Now that we understand where this field began, let's define exactly what we mean by cognitive health. What is cognitive health? Cognitive health includes all the mental processes we rely on: memory, attention, language, and judgment. In normal aging, people may experience mild forgetfulness, but can still manage daily independently living. In pathological aging, as in dementia, cognitive decline affects safety and self-care. As nurses, distinguishing between the two allows us to identify early warning signs and provide timely interventions. Next, let's discuss the factors that can put someone at greater risk for cognitive decline. There are many contributors to cognitive decline. Biological contributors are chronic conditions like diabetes, stroke, or heart disease. Genetic includes family history of dementia or Alzheimer's. Environmental includes stressful or unstimulating environments. Lifestyle would be poor diet, smoking, or inactivity. Social is isolation and lack of mental engagement. The important thing to remember is that while we can't control genetics or aging, most of these other factors are modifiable. That's where nursing has a real opportunity to intervene. Just as there are risk factors, there are also powerful protective factors that can preserve cognitive health. Let's look at those next. To protect cognitive health, we focus on a few key strategies, such as a healthy lifestyle with exercise, balanced diet, and sleep, cognitive stimulation through learning, reading, and puzzles, social engagement that keeps older adults active and connected, and supportive environments that reduce confusion and stress. When we combine these, we not only slow decline, we also build cognitive resilience, helping the brain stay strong. To put these ideas into action, we rely on screening and early detection, which is where nursing assessments come in. Assessment tools like the Mini Mental State Exam and Montreal Cognitive Assessment help identify early changes in memory, attention, or problem solving. Early detection allows us to begin interventions sooner, when they feel most effective. It also prevents safety risks like falls or medication errors. This makes cognitive screening an essential part of regular nursing practice, especially in older adults. Next, we'll talk about the role of nurses in promoting cognitive health across all care settings. Nurses are the forefront of cognitive health care. We assess and screen for early changes, provide education, and encourage non-medical intervention like exercise, socialization, and brain-stimulating activities. Person-centered care is critical, tailoring interventions to each individual's preference and abilities. We also serve as advocates, supporting policies and community programs that promote healthy aging. Let's take those nursing roles a step further by looking at their specific impact in daily practice. In practice, nursing interventions can make a huge difference. We promote physical activity and good nutrition, incorporate brain games or reading into care plans, and help patients stay oriented through visual cues and routines. We also prioritize early screening, making cognitive assessments part of regular checkups. Each of these strategies support independence and quality of life, which are the heart of nursing care. Now we'll build on these by looking at how nurses specifically address cognitive decline in older adults. Nurses help older adults maintain independence by encouraging self-care and supporting daily activities. We also nurture emotional well-being, building trust, reducing anxiety, and helping patients feel confident and connected. We bridge the gap between medical treatment and daily living by coordinating care and promoting healthy habits. And importantly, we bring research to life, applying new evidence to everyday care so older adults can age with dignity and fulfillment. Another crucial piece of cognitive health is community support, so let's explore how that plays a role. Community support systems play a major role in maintaining brain health. Research shows that older adults who are socially connected and supported tend to have better cognitive outcomes. Services like health programs, transportation, and group activities not only meet practical needs, but also provide emotional support and belonging. So keeping older adults engaged in their communities can make a real difference in protecting cognitive function. Now that we know how communities can help, let's talk about specific ways we can promote cognitive health in older adults. There are several practical approaches. Encouraging participation in group activities like exercise or art promotes both physical and social engagement. Providing emotional support through counseling or home visits help reduce isolation. Accessible programs and transportation make it easier for older adults to stay active. And combining mental and physical challenges such as puzzle or exercise classes can significantly boost cognition. As we come to the end of our presentation, let's summarize the key takeaways in our conclusion. To wrap up, maintaining cognitive health is essential for independence, dignity, and purpose in later life. Our understanding has evolved from seeing decline as inevitable to recognizing it as something that we can be prevented and managed. Nurses are central to that change. We identify early signs, educate patients and families, and promote healthy habits that protect the brain. Through compassion, education, and evidence-based practice, Nurses empower older adults to live fuller, more connected lives. By staying informed and applying research, we ensure that nurses continue to meet the evolving needs of our aging population. And finally, here are the references that guided our research and supported our evidence. These are the key sources we used, including the National Institute on Aging, Mock's Gerontological Nursing Text, and several recent studies that emphasize both prevention and community involvement in maintaining cognitive health. To close, we'd like to thank you all for your time and attention. Thank you for listening, and we hope this presentation helped you better understand how nurses can play a proactive role in promoting brain health and supporting older adults in aging with confidence, independence, and dignity.